morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you for inviting us and having me on this dais to speak today. The session on reinventing the future on the behalf of Aditya Birla Group, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present today. It's an honor to stand in front of all of you, for which today we will be seeing some good presentations from all, and we will be also learning from all of you. Aditya Birla Group is not just an industrial group, it's a purpose that is being shared by 1.3 billion Indians. We are spread across 36 countries across the globe, having a workforce of 140,000 employees belonging to 100 nationalities. We are into the manufacturing of metals, cement, pulp, fiber, chemicals, telecom, renewable, fashion, financial services, and many more. In simple words, Aditya Birla Group is a complete manufacturing house. Humanity has gone through some of the most troublesome periods in the history, like natural calamities, epidemic, world war, but each time, humans' indomitable spirit to sustain and become better has succeeded in receding the impact. A big part in reduction from the damage comes through the manufacturing sector. Likewise, in the past few years, manufacturing sector was disrupted and challenged to its last layer of sustenance by the COVID-19 pandemic. But we all survived. Pandemic had revealed weaknesses across the end-to-end activities and highlighted the need for a greater resilience, agility across all sectors, including manufacturing. I personally would say COVID-19 as a time machine to the future, and why not? Together, we are coming off the most challenging years in the business history. The global pandemic had many repercussions and has caused not only public health crisis, but also has caused technological, social, cultural disruptions. But we collectively managed and sustained the business. Many sectors had a tough time, whereas some of them grew in this time. But one factor is constant. We all learned something or the other from it, which may differ from business to business, individual to individual. But collectively, I can say being futuristic and creating capable systems to function intelligently. Gentlemen, I'm sure you all are familiar with names like Aditya Birla Group, some of the group companies like Hindalco, Ultratech, and many more. You might be thinking, why am I taking the names of these manufacturing companies? The first and foremost which crosses my mind when it comes to big manufacturing companies are all of them are great manufacturing companies who have developed, created products which has impacted the nation's economy and the lives of billions of the globe. Each one uses the product of someone else to craft into something more meaningful. For example, the next time you are using a Hawkins or a TTK pressure cooker, take note of the fact that it's made of aluminium, manufactured by Hindalco. The next time you open any kind of packaged food from the local eateries, there is a high probability that the aluminum foil used for wrapping is manufactured from Hindalco aluminum foils. The medicine wrappers which you use in a day-to-day work uses our aluminum. I came across a tagline which you might have seen in many of the hoardings. This is our tagline, Aditya Birla Group, begin your life. These examples, these taglines speaks of the impact of manufacturing sector in our lives. I quote a CII report which states manufacturing sector contributes approximately 16% of GDP. Manufacturing sector collectively comprises of metals, machinery, equipments, textile, apparels, food products, and beverages. The other constituents of GDP comprises of agriculture and services sector. For the inferences I presented, I believe you have a fair understanding of the importance of the manufacturing sector in the nation building and the impact it has in all our lives. Manufacturing is the backbone of any economy. That brings us to two important questions to answer. What is the operational excellence framework, and are we prepared to handle the disruptions? What is the scope of improvement in terms of operational efficiencies in the field of manufacturing? While the operational excellence speaks of a philosophy of workplace where problem solving, team working, leadership results in continuous improvements in the organizations. The process involves focusing on customer needs, keeping employees positive, empowered, continuously improving the processes, activities at the workplaces by continuously benchmarking our performances with the best in class operating plants. Operational excellence focuses on having good visibility into the future so that we can deliver high quality, high standards, and high used products. I can say that operational excellence is not a methodology, but it's more to do with the mindset. The operational excellence ensures that improvements are made for continued growth to gain a competitive advantage. As per a Harvard Business Review research, which states that companies with peak operational excellence had a 25% higher growth with a 75% increase in productivity. So without operational excellence, it's difficult to not only increase profitability, but continue to operate efficiency. There can be reasons which are important on why operational excellence is important and essential for all our processes. It helps us to optimize the processes for improving the efficiencies. Companies that maintain operational excellence use streamlined, well-defined processes, value streams, and have a very well-defined metrics of excellence. The improved efficiencies eliminates wastes while saving cost for involved stakeholders. Inefficient processes can result in unsatisfied or dissatisfied customers. It increases our cost of production and affects the morale of the staff. And as a result, would affect the productivity and profitability of the unit. Operational excellence promotes agility in all the businesses we are in. It requires companies to be agile in the face of market changes changes in customer taste, and adoption of new technology. Without the ability to adapt to changes, companies will find it difficult to survive. A McKinsey report states that company had almost 70% of highly rated people who had that ability to take on changes for improving the productivity. These companies demonstrated a higher total returns to the shareholders. The Internet of Things enables the manufacturers to access a wealth of data from the sensors. The data includes machine utilization, health, production rates, measuring the value of metrics. There is a reason to say that companies in pursuit of operational excellence do two things significantly different than the other companies. They manage their business and operational processes systematically and invest in developing the right culture. Now the question comes, is there a need to devise a framework to have a robust manufacturing efficiency processes? Do we choose the right technology? Do we have the right methodology? Does the methodology matches our business and unit strategy? Do we define the operations, safety, finance, people, all these oriented metrics which ultimately affects the manufacturing efficiency? Do we have a defined goals for all these? Have we been able to identify the right risks, and do we have the plans to mitigate the risk? And above all, do we have the right culture of ownership, which fosters an environment for continual improvement and continual growth? While we discuss about the process part, the next comes the introduction of Industry 4.0 to our workplaces. The various pillars of a good OPEX framework is something which goes a long way in establishing Industry 4.0. What is Industry 4.0 and what is its relevance with future of manufacturing? Industry 4 refers to the introduction of many technologies, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and many more, which are introduced to our manufacturing platforms. We can say that it's the third revolution, but with the introduction of machine learning techniques, advanced pattern recognition techniques, it helps us to cater to those blind spots of manufacturing, which would give us a big way to cut down on the wastes. It doesn't matter what we call the next wave of industrial innovation, but it's happening now. Machine learning is real. AI is getting smarter. And the equipments, plant, systems, everything now gets connected through IoT. To sum up the existing factories, slowly the factory workplaces are getting converted into smart factories. Industry 4 is revolutionizing the way companies manufacture. improve, and distribute the products. Tapping the potential of data we are generating during the process of execution. These smart factories are equipped with the advanced sensors, embedded software, robotics that collects and analyze data to allow for better decision making. The digital technologies lead to increased automation, predictive and prescriptive maintenance practices, self optimization of process improvements, and above all, a new level of efficiencies and responsiveness to customers, which was previously not there. Developing smart factories provide an incredible opportunity for manufacturing industries to enter the fourth industrial revolution. All seems to sound good, but still many organizations are unable to harness the complete benefits of this digital revolution, even after investing so much in the latest cutting edge technologies. What is the concern? The rise of automations and connected systems also signals the requirement of workforce transformation. And this is where the manufacturer's dilemma begins. Manufacturers not only have to lure the tech savvy talent, but also reskill and upskill existing resources to harness the power of new disruptive manufacturing technologies. A highly technological advanced environment means more employee contributions revolving around technology, adopting the new digital options available and utilize it to retrofit the systems readily available in the market today. Given the complete change in the manufacturing ecosystem, it becomes imperative to prepare the workforce and conduct strategic workforce planning and its training. It's important for a business to prepare and adapt their workforce for accepting the new changes which the Industry 4 brings in. More focus has to be given on the people processes. Processes needs to train people which will help them in adapting to the cutting edge technologies. Empower shop floor workers, workmen to harness their ideas for the technology deployment. Prepare them for a learning curve which will require patience. And above all, to promote a culture of data based decision making. A capable and competent team will result in an intelligent ecosystem where everything will be connected. Connected machines, connected devices, connected processes, and connected users. When everything is connected and we have the competence to interpret the data coming out of connected system, we take a decision which is based on data. Then only we are able to harness the true potential of Industry 4 and its associated technologies. To quote an example from a manufacturing setup from where I come in the last decade, if somebody had to come and tell us that by seeing the parameters of an operating boiler or an operating turbine, can we predict or can we say that there is a failure 1 month down the line? It was not possible a decade back. But today, there are data, there are sensors, there are a group of pattern recognizing softwares available in the market where they are able to analyze the way the metal temperatures of boiler and predict in a way that if the metal temperatures vary in a certain range or go beyond the boundary of the operable range, there is bound to be a failure. The same could be applicable to any kind of rotating equipments where today on a very basic level the vibration signatures are taken. But when these equipments are more delicate equipments like a turbine or a generator, these vibration signatures can give a lot more data to predict a failure which is to come. One more aspect which in today's manufacturing setup has taken a lot of importance is the asset optimization. Are we able to sweat the assets? And asset optimization is the key to increase the OEE of a plant or a connected system. I can quote an example where AI tools has been deployed to suggest the firing pattern inside a furnace. AI tools can suggest by reading the patterns whether a soot blowing is required or can it be optimized. The process intelligence has self-taught and controls the real-time processes with minimal interventions. Today is the age when digital twin for many of the big boilers or turbines already exists. A digital twin is a live monitoring of operational parameters of boilers, turbines, generators, which suggests optimal set points in order to minimize losses at various service conditions. Coming on to the Industry 4 and smart manufacturing, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, AI, and machine learning. All this, when deployed in our manufacturing setup, has given us a lot of data. And while we deploy artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques, a lot of the failures can be predicted today. In an aluminum setup, we have been doing a lot of machine learning projects wherein we are trying to predict failures at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes before it happens. Already we have been doing a project in our aluminum plants. So they are able to predict failures or predict process anomalies where an operator is able to take the corrective actions before it happens. So in a way, if I can say, these technologies help us to elongate the life of an equipment. Edge computing is something which has been accepted and finds its importance in the production lines where the data analysis must be done at the edge where the data is created. That means that whenever a failure occurs, if it is captured at that moment, probably then the failure can be avoided or the run hours can be improved further. The introduction of digital twin offered by Industry 4 has allowed manufacturers to create a virtual replica of processes, production lines, factories, and supply chain. A digital twin is created by pulling data from the IoT sensors, devices, PLCs, DCS, and other connected process equipments to the internet. Manufacturers can use digital twins to help increase productivity, improve the workflows, design new products. They can do it by simulating a production process. A manufacturer can test the changes to the process to find out ways to minimize downtime, improve capacities, and reduce the wastes. The digital transformations can have a lot of impact to the future of manufacturing. It can help us to forecast the demand and supply chain planning. The future product demand and supply is affected by various factors, which includes changing customer requirements, buying patterns, competitive product innovations, and other trends. An efficient supply chain optimized by digital technologies results in a better connectivity and collaborations with our suppliers, transporters, logistics, packaging, and suppliers. Earlier, the notifications of supply chain were done in a crude manner, but today, the digital means and the digital platforms can help us in improving the standards to the next level. A decade back, Amazon Flipkart was not there, but today it's there. So you can see the potential wherein the e-commerce, the way it has grown, could have been happen, or without the availability of these platforms, it was never possible. Above all, I can say it gives all the manufacturing plants a timely business insights for helping them to meet the demand forecasting. Disruptions in manufacturing and managing it. Managing the unexpected risks for strategic opportunity. Disruptions can lead to losses in market share, brand reputation, and many more. It can also offer manufacturers opportunities to innovate, evolve, just like the way we all did during the COVID pandemic. Unexpected risks are all around us today in the VUCA world which we live in. Manufacturers face challenges from powerful forces such as technological obsolescence, social, environmental, economic, and market trends, testing the mettle of even the strongest companies. At the same time, manufacturing companies have an unprecedented opportunity to innovate and evolve. New customers, markets, materials, technology awaits exploration and provide unlimited opportunities for expansion and growth. Managing strategic risks, the uncertainties, and the untapped opportunities that directly impact a company's identified strategic goals. Organizations can navigate disruptions in manufacturing while supporting business goals and both by creating and protecting shareholders' value. Whether they continue to generate value for shareholders depends on how well they prepare for and react to these strategic risks. Strategic risks forces organizations to react because it attacks the foundation of competitive advantage and execution of any business plan. It challenges the logic of strategic choices that creates a competitive and a sustainable advantage. It threatens an organization's positions relative to its competitors. It undermines a firm's ability to achieve or maintain an exceptional performance. Forces driving these disruptions in manufacturing could be because of customized demands. Today, the consumer demands are more customized and personalized in nature. Products with smart manufacturing and connectivity is on rise. Products themselves are changing from dumb to smart. Economics of production, advanced manufacturing methods deployed are changing the economics of production. The economics of value chain, the intelligence used, gives us a lot of insights which is enabled by digital manufacturing. Now, manufacturing depends a lot on the kind of energy mix we have. I quote a CEA report dated June 30th, which says the power requirement in India is approximately 404 gigawatts today, of which fossil fuel generation stands at 236 gigawatts, which is around 58.5% of the portfolio. In the component of fossil fuel generations, coal-based power generation happens to be 52%. This speaks about the magnitude of India's dependency on coal-based power generation. The cumulative renewable-based power generation, including hydro, currently stands at around 160 gigawatts, which is around 40%. The trend has been high, but absence of a proper trading platform from renewable energy, unavailability of solar for half of the production duration, and inability to store RE still poses a threat to be considered as a mainstay for industrial usage. On the other hand, Indian industrial sector contributes to 41% of its total consumption, followed by domestic 26 and agriculture is 18. High dependency of fossil fuel based power makes manufacturing and other industries responsible for global warming and the associated carbon footprint which we all leave behind. This calls for the usage of alternate fuels in the field of manufacturing and its future, as it's going to be a huge factor for business sustainability. Along with manufacturing, industries have to collectively work on carbon capture. There is an increasing need for a substitute for fossil fuels to create a cleaner and a more sustainable energy. Some of the alternates which today is available could be use of ethanol, methanol, biomass based diesel, methane, green hydrogen, synthetic fuels, and DME. Manufacturing organizations have to invest in R&D and find out ways for sustainable, cost-effective usage of these alternate fuels for the respective processes. I can tell from my colleagues here from the cement sector, cement as a sector has been doing a lot in using energy from other sources. And in India, there has been a lot of work which has been going on for finding out alternate source of energy, at least in the cement sector, what I see. A lot of focus today is given on green hydrogen usage as an alternate post the hydrogen policy rollout. All eyes have turned in, and it is now referred as the future fuel. But the concern, it's not available in the free form. And the technologies have to be harnessed to make it a commercial, viable option against the fossil fuel what we have today. While we spoke of manufacturing, sustainability is a key aspect of any manufacturing installation. United Nations has established a set of sustainable development goals. It covers all form of life, be it on land, marine. It covers all facets of living, food, education, equality, justice, growth, and so on. So at Aditya Birla Group, we are committed for enriching lives, and all the ABG business work in a way to help the nation achieve its committed goals. But the true question is, what is the biggest challenge that manufacturers face today on this path of sustainable operations? I believe the answer is quite simple. It's associated with costs and restricted avenues. The three pillars of sustainable manufacturing business deals with environmental sustainability, social sustainability, and economic sustainability. As a manufacturing setup, we need to deal with carbon neutrality, water positivity, no net loss on biodiversity, and zero waste to landfill. The manufacturing setups should have their own plans for reducing the specific energy reductions, specific freshwater consumption reductions, water positivity in downstreams and mining verticals, and more usage of renewable energies. To sum up, what could be the macro enablers for the future of manufacturing? Manufacturing remains a critical force both in advanced and developing economies. Sector has changed, bringing in new opportunities and challenges to business leaders and policymakers. The importance of executing the changes with agility, including the efforts that the small and medium scale industries put in to create a value to the entire nation as a whole. Looking at the pace at which the IoT technologies are being adapted, every aspect of manufacturing, I can say, we are moving towards factories of the future. Smart factories, which has digitally enabled systems, equipments, workforce tuned to accept and embrace this change. A complete paradigm shift is on its way. I believe customers will increasingly gravitate towards the products that are more sustainable, reusable, and recyclable. So, to conclude, I would say that there is so much in the field of manufacturing that we can keep on reinventing the way we do things. Manufacturing existed decades ago, it's existing now and will exist. It's the process which fulfills the fundamental necessities of ours. Never before in the history of mankind has the pace of innovations and technological accelerations been faster than it is today. We are set to ride the wave of digitalization in the fastest way possible, and manufacturing sector won't be any exception. It is the manufacturing sector which will grow, and this growth will be fueled by the innovation which it brings in and the value it creates. Thank you. Thank you everyone for a patient listener.